Probably not the country you would choose to live in if you were disabled. Well, there's a lack of basic facilities, and until recently, people with disabilities were all but forced to spend their lives holed up at home. Well, now the government says disabled facilities should be a priority for the country, and the public attitudes need to change. Well, RT's Charlotte Omusfali now reports.
Jenya ShirkinaDSD is an A-grade student in all her subjects, but it's art and drawing which is her speciality. Her talent has won her prizes, and what makes it more remarkable is that she does everything with her toes. Jenya was born without arms, and after being abandoned by her parents, is now looked after by her grandparents in Moscow. She doesn't venture much further than school and home, but says she isn't worried what people think of her.
I don't pay any attention. I don't care. In the street, I act just like a normal person, just like everybody else.
Very much the typical teenager, Jenya loves to play on her computer and spend time with friends. But she still has a lot of growing up to do, and her family know they can't shield her from the harsh realities of life forever.
Jenya's situation is in great contrast to a lot of disabled people living in Russia. Many can't get a job or an education, and some are even trapped in their flats all day, every day. But there are signs of hope, with the government starting to recognise the issue.
At a special meeting last month, the Russian president pledged to offer more support to disabled people, and not just financial.
We need to drastically and fully reconsider the way disabled people are treated in our society. For quite a long time, no one talked about it at all. At the moment, though, the situation is changing. The state must make this one of its priorities.
Promising words, but there's a lot to do before conditions change. At the moment, people with disabilities are literally invisible in Russia, isolated in homes or shelters. Walking down a city street, you'll be pushed to spot a wheelchair or someone who's blind or has Down syndrome. According to Natalia Prizetskaya, the main challenge is tackling social prejudice. She was banned from boarding a flight to Vladikavkaz by Russian airline S7, just as she was about to get on the plane. She says she followed all necessary procedures when checking in and can't understand why it happened.
I consider this to be discrimination. I wasn't allowed to board the plane because I was in a wheelchair. I was refused just for that. Tomorrow, someone else might be refused because of nationality or the colour of their skin.
Natalia was forced to fly from another airport and now intends to file a lawsuit against S7, although they insist they were simply following regulations.
Transportation of disabled people in wheelchairs or on stretchers is only done in the presence of a person to accompany them. An airline has the right to deny such persons transportation in case the aircraft is not properly equipped for such passengers.
And it's not just flying which causes problems for disabled people. A lack of ramps means the metro system is off limits, as is most other public transport, many theatres and museums. The difficulty of getting around is just the tip of the iceberg.
There are too many problems that have piled up over the years. Very low pensions. It's practically impossible to find a job. Getting an education is a challenge, but the main thing, society's failure to adequately understand disabled people's problems.
And unlike in the West, overcoming these issues is something Russia is only just beginning to seriously explore. But at least it's a start, and might mean conditions for Russia's future generations of disabled people finally improve. Charlotte Omusfali, RT, Moscow.